Hey everyone, and welcome back to Lusatia and episode 6. So, the last episode we cultivated and seeded all our fields. We also got a layer of fertiliser on as well. So today what we're going to do is head down to the store and lease a weeder, as all our fields are in the first growth stage, so we can do some weeding. The soybeans field at the end of the last episode, it had partly grown before I'd finished fully seeding the field, so it's part of it is in the first growth stage, part of it hasn't actually grown yet. So all I'll have to do is just weed the section that has grown and then do the other bit when it shows up, and try not to damage the other crop because I do have crop destruction on, because that will go to the second growth stage. A little bit annoying that it's done that. That's one of those things with playing the base game without seasons on, is growth stages tend to happen periodically at certain hours, and no matter where you are in the field, up to that point it will grow or change state. So the weeder I'm going to lease is this Vaderstad Rolex 1320. I'm just going to leave it standard. It's quite a big one and quite wide as well, so should make short work of our field. There's another mod I've not used before, so it'll be interesting to see how it actually works. It's actually quite a lot bigger than I thought, in terms of not the actual working width, but the actual size of it, because I know the in-game one's pretty wide, but folds up quite a bit. This is quite a bit of a beastie piece of equipment, to be fair. So I did double the amount of sheep we've got. Something else I also mentioned in the last episode we would be doing. We're now up to 80 sheep. And one thing I must say I completely forgot when I was looking at the wool production is, because I've got the unit conversion mod installed, the actual wool pallet was like 30% full or something, but as you can see it shows 82%, and that's because I've got it in kilograms, not litres, which was confusing me because I was thinking, well, 19 litres, that's not a lot when it's like 2,000 litres a pallet, but no, that pallet is nearly full, so we're 82% for that pallet and it's 82 kilograms. Yeah, I only realised earlier when I looked at it again and saw it was like on 40% and I was, yeah, one of those things. Unit conversion mod is really good. I have several things set to kilograms because it's what I'm used to from work and school and stuff, and it's easy to work out the tons from that. So we lower this down and hopefully this will work. Yep, we've got the dark texture going on. So we are doing some weeding, although in 17 there are no weeds to remove. So I'm really looking forward to 19 and actually having the weeding function actually having a purpose rather than just adding a fertiliser state. And weeding in 17's something I tried when I first started playing the game on Goldcrest Valley a while ago. I tried the weeder, but because I didn't understand like the actual weeds, and there was actually no function other than the fertiliser. It was kind of a bit of a pointless thing, and then I've just never used it again. So it's one of those things that obviously it's going to have a purpose now, which is going to be really good. So I know there are a few, I think so far on the website there's 3 weeders going to be in the base game. Whether there's going to be any more added, I'm not sure. We'll see over the next couple of weeks. So this shouldn't take too long, as we've got such a large working width. I'll say it's only going to take a few passes for this field, and then field 9 is a little bit bigger. To be fair, it's probably not that much bigger, it's just a slightly different shape. Field 24 is a bit bigger, but we can't do all that straight away. What I'll do is do the bit we can, and then we'll have to advance a bit of time, or I'll do it off camera after, before the next episode. The greenhouses do need topping up with water and manure, so that's something we can do after this. And also we need to get some pig food, and the cows require some silage, or we'll mix up some pear food for them, and then that'll probably be enough. So the next round of fertilisation for this, we'll probably do some spraying. Probably look at leasing one of the sprayers, depending how much money we've got, or just buy the small 15-metre Amazon sprayer. Or I'll have a look what mods I've got. I'm sure I've probably got a few mods that I've not used before we can have a look at before 19 comes out. Now I'm not sure if this mod was part of the same pack that the disc came in that we used in the previous episode for the cultivating. I'd still need to have a look up, but it's one that I've got. I think I've got stupid amount of mods that my mods folder is like ridiculously large as well, which is going to get deleted in a couple of weeks. Help free up a bit of space on the disk drive. So another thing I've been thinking is, I know about before I said about not doing many more bales, but I'm thinking as I'm not playing on seasons and silage bales sell for a lot more, I'll probably do some silage bales just to sell, because we probably won't need them for feed, just to get some extra money in, so we can try and look at buying another field. Maybe do some logging as well down in the forest by field 24, which is close to the sawmill. See if we can get enough money to buy a few fields before the end of the series, as field prices are, I think they're pretty standard to the base game field prices for the sizes. Unlike Shamrock Valley, the field prices are, to me, far too cheap. I mean, it's great that you don't have to grind for hours and hours and hours to buy a field, but it would be nice if they were a little bit more expensive, because I do think they are a little bit too cheap. But that's just me. Other people may think otherwise. So we've just got this little bit to do on this field, and then we'll be all done. Head over to field 9, get that one done. Just not quite wide enough to finish it off in one pass. It's got that little strip down the side to do. Well, this will be the second stage of fertilisation on this field. So we'll just do the spraying, and then we'll get the full yield out of it. And for the barley field, because chopped straw is not enabled on this map, we'll just bale the straw up and sell the straw bales straight away, rather than waste the straw. That'll give us a little bit of extra money as well. So there's the first field done. We'll head down to field 9, which you can just fold up the weeder first. Yeah, so for this playthrough, I'd say it's going to be fairly short. Just gives me a chance to try out a few different things. That's not our field. I don't want to start weeding the neighbour's field. It's the next one. Yeah, I don't. On this, I'm just going to just try out different things. There's no point in kind of setting some sort of end goal for the series. I'll just try and do what we can do in the time. I would say this is episode 6, and there'll probably be 13 episodes in total, I think, with the last one being the Monday before 19's released. So we'll see what we can do in that time. If we can buy a few more fields, that'll be a good thing. So we'll just go around the edge on this one. It's a bit of a different shape, then we'll do the up and downs. The little Deutz really do like this tractor. Really like the sound of it as well, especially the startup sound. It's a shame that it doesn't look like the little Deutz that was in the base game, and this one is going to be in 19, or at least from the start. Whether they'll release it as a mod on the mod hub, because I think a lot of the Deutz were from FS17, so they probably thought not worth converting it over for a second time into 19, because I know what somebody did say, that all of the implements, tractors and harvesters and everything for 19 have been completely redone from scratch. So whether it's one of those, spend time doing new vehicles and putting more popular stuff in there than some stuff that's been in since 15, but they may still convert it as a mod, like they did with some of the other stuff from 15 into 17 that I think was originally in 13. We'll wait and see, because I know Giants have said there will be mods available on day one. But what mods exactly, I don't know. And looking at some of the screenshots they released the other day, they've got the Big X doing the forage harvesting with the New Holland tractor behind it. I'm hoping that screenshot kind of indicates some sort of follow me, or something similar to follow me is going to be in the base game, or whether they've just set that up for the screenshot. Because there are two people in the tractors, it's not as if there's nobody driving the vehicles, and the tractor is right behind the harvester following along. So whether that, say, is just set up for the screenshot, or whether that is an indication to some sort of follow me type system in the base game, I hope there is, because that's one mod that I really like. It's one of those when I used to play on console. I remember how difficult it was, that constantly just driving several different tractors to one field to do a job. You spent a lot of time doing that you could have been doing other things if you got the follow me on console. But it's one mod I'll miss if it's not available soon, to be fair. Probably the most used mod I've got. Courseplay I use quite a bit, although I don't fully use it to its full potential. I just pretty much set up basic courses for certain tasks. I have played around with doing silage, getting it to tip off in the clamp and stuff, and I could never get it to work properly, even despite watching several YouTube videos. But Courseplay will be another good mod to get back in, and hopefully if I get it from the start I can learn how to use it properly and get the most out of it, as it is a very good mod and does have some uses, and it just makes the use of workers that little bit more useful, as they can do more than just stick to the field. You can get them to like unload the combine and then go and dump it in the silos and stuff, which does save a lot of time, especially when you start getting a lot of fields and you've got a lot of work to do. It just keeps the game flowing, helps keep things moving, and stops the game getting a bit tedious in my eyes. So are there any mods in particular that you're really hoping get converted across to 19? Let me know in the comments. Be interested to hear what other people are looking forward to, and what mods you use the most in your games. Is there any particular thing that you'd like to see as a mod that's not been done yet? That'd be interesting to hear. So we've probably got the 2 passes to do, and then we'll head over to field 24 and do what we can in that field, and then just look at getting the animals sorted. I'll probably do for this episode. I say it's currently Saturday evening, so I'm trying to get this done for tomorrow, so hopefully it'll be up, and if you're watching this on the day it's published, it'll be Sunday, and then tomorrow we'll have episode 7, and then we should hopefully be back at the 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday and Friday with episodes on here, depending on how things are going. If I get a bit of time, I may put an extra episode in next weekend. It all depends on the time I get. But I really do want to keep up with the progress on the time lapses. And get those all finished off before 19's out. So 2 fields down, and that's a really nice weeder. Feels very heavy to pull. It does look like a heavy bit of equipment as well, for the construction of it. But it seems to do the job really well, as I say, in terms of adding that fertilizer stage. So let's shoot over to field 24. Field 10 might be a good one to have a look at buying, because it's not too big, so it might not be too expensive. There's a few small field like 5, field 6 doesn't look too big either, and field 15, field 12. So that's, depending on how much they are, I'm not sure on the field prices on those, because I haven't checked. There are possibilities, I could buy a few of those. So I'll head over to field 24, and as he tips the tractor. Yeah, I'll get the tractor corrected, and I'll meet you over field 24. Okay, so we're just over at field 24. As you can see, it's not great with that growth stage. The 2 side bits which are seeded after, obviously skip to the next growth stage, but we'll get weeded what we can. So obviously when When the growth stage next changes, the 2 side strips will go to the first stage, but this middle section will go to the second growth stage, and we won't be able to weed it then. So let's slow that down. And we'll get this done. So it's probably 3 passes and we'll be done, so it shouldn't take too long. Now that is one thing I really don't like about not using seasons, and it's one thing I completely forgot about. It's been so long since I've done a playthrough with not using seasons, to be honest. I've got it set on slow as well, which obviously was not slow enough for me. I really do hope seasons is out pretty soon, as well as I did mention in one of the other episodes that possibility that I'll do it as a DLC. It is a possibility. Whether they will, I don't know. It probably will just be the mod, but let's hope it's not too long before they get it, because a game like this, really, I think some sort of seasons mode, not necessarily as an option that you're forced to use, as in like it's pretty much standard in the game that you have to use it, but at least you've got the option within the base game to have seasons on or off. Would be quite a cool feature in the future as a standard. So at least that way then, for people that don't want the slower game pace, they've got the option to just do it without seasons and have fun just using the equipment they enjoy using and doing the jobs they enjoy doing, and not having to wait around and look for other things to do, just passing time through winter or those early summer days where you may only have a bit of fertilising to do. Well, that's one of the good things with 19, is obviously with seasons they're going to have to implement weed growth into the seasons mod. In like, when do weeds grow? And it'll be interesting to see as well with weeds whether if they do seasons, if you leave a field without any cropping, like so you've just harvested it and you leave it in that state, whether it'll start growing weeds that you have to like put some spray on before you obviously plant it again, or whether it'll only grow weeds once it's got a crop actually grown in there. It would be quite interesting if they do it that way, that if a field's left for a certain length of time with no crop in it, or it's not being worked on, that it'll start growing weeds that need to be removed before you like start work on the field again, or whether when the crop is being harvested, that field state then just stays as harvested until you obviously plough it or cultivate it and seed it. So that'd be interesting to see if they've implemented something like that, and if not, whether that'll be something that'll be added in seasons, because that would be something obviously a bit more realistic, because that's what would happen if you just left a field bare for any length of time. You're going to start getting weed seeds blown into it and start getting weeds growing. It's not just going to stay as a harvested state until you put a crop in. So that'll be another one to see whether something like that's been put in the game. Okay, so that's all the weeding we can do for now. So let's just fold this up and we'll leave this over here. Because what I'll probably do is I'll come back after this episode, sorry, off camera, once those 2 edges have got to the first growth stage, and then we'll get those done. I can take that off the lease. So head back to the farm and we'll look at getting some water and manure into the greenhouses, and sort the animals out. Okay, so we're back at the farm, and we just need to change over to the case. It's got the front loader on, which I'm trying to remember where I parked. It's just in here. So let's park that one up in here, and then we'll jump in to the case. Jump in, jump out. I'll get the bucket on the front and get some manure for the greenhouses. I have a look, thinking about, we have got the placeable fruit trees. I don't use in seasons because they produce fruit all year round and stay leafy green, which is a bit odd. It'd have been good if they'd have done an update for the placeable fruit trees, that they, if you're using seasons, that it kind of stopped producing fruit during like the autumn and winter, but obviously had an increased yield during the summer to make up for it. Would have been a good feature. But I had them on my west coast, and obviously seeing apple trees with nice apples on in the winter is just takes away from the realism of the game. But as we're not playing seasons, I may look at getting a few on here if we stop producing enough manure to make it worth it. Of course, do topping up the water in the tanker as well. So that one's got a bit of manure in, these two are empty. So put some in. Oh. Another thing I've noticed on FS17 is they've really reduced the capacity of all the buckets and silage forks. I think the big lizard silage fork, which for the wheel loader, which is this one. This is the big lizard. On here it's, well, it says 4,150 kilograms, but it's 10,000 litres. On 19 that is only 5,000 litres, so they've halved the capacity of it. Some of the buckets do look more like the kind of capacity they would actually hold, compared to what they do on 17, so they have probably made it that little bit more of a realistic fill level on the buckets. But it's going to be one of those jobs are going to take you twice as long now, using the bucket for moving silage and stuff with only half the capacity. I'm sure a lot of people will probably going to get modded versions with the higher capacities on. There are a lot of implements and buckets, like mod ones that I've got, that have just got far too high capacities. They've just like been modded way too high for realistically what they would be able to take. Yeah, it's another one to get used to on 19 is having that smaller capacity in the standard buckets. So I'm sure this bucket is around about 1,500 litres, I think, and I'm pretty sure it's only down to 750 litres in 19. We're not producing enough manure to really keep the greenhouses going, let alone getting any fruit trees. So maybe if we get some more cows and pigs, start producing some more manure, we could possibly get some just down the side of this strip of grass here or something. So we'll just finish off these and then go and look at doing the cows and get some pig food, and then we'll call it a day for this episode. Next episode we'll probably do fertiliser spraying and not sure what else will. I'll see what the kind of progress we've made in between. Now I'm thinking for the pigs, rather than buying pig food, we may as well use what we've got in the silo, to be fair, because we're not going to need a lot. I don't know why I brought the water tanker all the way back up here. We just dropped that off in there, put it back where it was before, and I knew where it was, so next time I come to use that I'm going to be looking for it. I guarantee I won't remember I've put it there. Right, so the cows need pig corn. So how much corn have I got? Quite a bit. I probably won't need that much. Yeah, we'll just give them some corn for now. The feed troughs around the side. Saves a bit of time going to the shop to buy a bag of pig food, and I'll just smash the bucket into the lamppost. So that's them sorted for 6 days on their base food anyway. The grain and proteins, then they've got another 2.5 days left before they're empty, so they're alright for a bit. It's just the silage, so chuck a silage bale in for the cows, and that will keep them going, and then that'll be it. So let's just tip this back into the silo and drop that off, and crash again into the side of the building. So we need to get the bale spike. And we'll get one of the 8,000 litre silage bales. Oh. I'll make a mess of the bale pile again. So hopefully this should accept it. Yep. So that's not even fill the base food for the cows for 6 days. The 8,000 litre bale. But they're alright now, probably for another 2 days before, no, 3 days before the straw grass needs topping up. It's just these sheep could do with some water and grass, which I could have done as we drove past with the with the water tanker. But well, I'll do that off camera, and we'll leave it there. So we've got 81 sheep now. The reproduction rate's up to 11 hours 51 minutes. The next animal in 2 hours 33. So we're going to have 83 probably by the start of the next episode, and the wool pallet will be full. So not sure what the current wool price is. Now I do want to check. Where's wool? Wool is currently 102.87 per kilogram. Make that off with what you will. Some of the prices, obviously using the unit conversion mod, are slightly different. So some things are in kilograms, some are in litres. But yeah, so try and work out if that's a good price or not. Obviously it's red, so not. But I do have the 100% pallet sell mod, which according to the description is to sell pallets of sugar beets and potatoes. When you box them up, you get double the price of when you sell them, to make it a bit more worth actually boxing them up, because otherwise it's a bit pointless, waste of time that you don't get any more money for it. But I do want to check, because I believe that it does double the price of all pallets, including wall pallets. And I want to check it because on my Shamrock Valley I seem to be getting way more for wall than I should be. So when that wall pallet's full, we'll take it over to the sell point and sell it and see if it does actually double the price of wall pallets as well, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to, or whether the way the mod works is it just classes pallets being sold regardless of what they are and just doubles the price. Anyway, so if you do have any questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, leave it down below. And if you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you again. Goodbye.